Okay, here's a way to become indispensable to your clients or even wow them before their clients by using Google's marketing data to show them how much money they can make on the different kind of queries that they want to rank for. So basically, you're becoming a business consultant at that point. You're becoming a strategy consultant and you're vastly increasing your value to potential SEO clients. And I can do this in 3 seconds before I even sign a client or before I look at an affiliate niche for myself or something like that and make some business plans. So let me show you how I would do that. Totally for free, by the way, using free tools. So I would go here to Google Ads and I would go to tools and settings. I would go to keyword planner. Some of the questions I ask a client beforehand, I ask them, okay, sure, what is your budget? What searches do you want to rank for? Let me know if you want to call, if you're an email person. Obviously you could give a much more, this is not a letter on how to do proper client recruitment because I hate, I don't hate, but I'm not a typical sales guy. So I'm just like, okay, what bottom line, what's your budget? What are you looking for? But I do at least ask if they want to do a call or an email. And I would recommend you doing that because some people like talking on the phone. Some people don't like talking on the phone. He said email's fine. He has 3 kids. Mark that later to say stuff about that. Small company. He's trying to hedge my bets as to what I'm going to charge him here at this point. And he says some keywords will be related to administrative. So you got to ask the keywords first. What searches are you trying to rank for? You got to check out the competition. But they think it's going to be competition. You got to check out, but that's not it at all. You're checking out. You rank for with any competition. With our methods at Underground SEO University, it doesn't matter what the competition is. We're gonna nail it. So he wants administrative, accounting, or talent acquisition recruitment in Massachusetts. Okay, fine, great. Then you ask them how much value is ranking highly for some of those searches worth to you in your business. Is organic your only sales modality? That's a big deal. If they're getting sales from word of mouth and street and brick and mortar and social and paid, then they're a much better client for you. If they're like, oh, organic is my only sales modality, my business lives and dies by the rankings you're going to get me, that is in some way, there's pros and cons to that. The pro is that, well, they're reliant on you. The con is, well, they're reliant on you, right? So they're only as reliable as your powers to get them ranking. They're not going to have as much money to give you, so it'll be a smaller budget because they're not making sales from other places. So they're not going to be as reliable as a client for you moving forward. And then I asked, is it just for Massachusetts? And then you give them, you start managing their client expectations, but never appear weak either. Then he just emailed me back, and he says zero. It's worth zero to him if they don't submit a job order. I'd rather 1 visitor place a job than 500 visitors looking. Okay. He says, yes, as far as inbound sales, this is the only method. Okay, that's not great. So he didn't answer this question and tell me how much money per month he's going to make. So I have no idea how to what I should bid to him for a budget. He says, yes, it's just Massachusetts. Okay, so that's the part I needed an answer for anyway, if it's just Massachusetts. When I come back here now to Keyword Planner, I'm going to discover new keywords, and I'm going to paste that in here. Administrative, accounting, or talent acquisition recruitment in Massachusetts. And I'm going to say it's not Canada. The area is Massachusetts. That's the only area I care about, apparently. And I'm going to say save. Now, I don't know if he meant that there's people outside of Massachusetts that might be looking in Massachusetts. I'm just going to limit it to Massachusetts for now, just to see, just for the sake of an example. I think this is what he's talking about here. Now, I could filter it, but I don't want to. I want to get broad keywords with this. So I'm going to say get results. And then it gives me the results for administrative assistant, executive assistant, office manager, office assistant. I would need to break this down more. Let's do this. Let's edit it in Notepad first. So let's do administrative, recruitment, accounting, recruitment in Massachusetts, talent recruitment, talent, acquisition. This will get the general idea of what's going on. So we'll put in that. We'll put in this. And there's a place you can put in multiples. I'm just going to do this later for now because I'm lazy. You can put in this. And you're going to put in this. And again, position, make sure it's spelled right. I'm going to say get results. And we're limiting it to Massachusetts. Okay, here we go. This is much more what we're looking for here. Administrative recruitment, talent acquisition, just tailored for Massachusetts, United States here. Expand all the keywords. All right. So here's the brand entities they've detected. IBM, Oracle, Amazon, Deloitte and Touche, Microsoft, a bunch of important ones. Manufacturers, they've identified. Financial institutions, they've identified for entities that are related to this that should be important for business decisions and or keyword decisions later on. Retailers involved, schools that are involved, sites that are involved, which is a different brand entity than everything else you saw above there. So don't confuse them. Brand entity is not just a site. A brand entity could be all those things that we'll be talking about here. Car makes, airlines, fashion brands, hotel chains, other brands, services. So services are going to be important here. Human resources management, marketing, sales, branding, and others. Hiring talent, recruitment agency. These are other things that apparently are not considered to be services. So notice how smart or how unsmart Google's natural language processor is for extracting entities, which are just concepts of things, out of dark data. And interestingly, 2021 here is just an other, it's not a year. Usually they would have noticed that's a year. So that's the AI messing up. It screwed up. It usually would notice that as a year thing. Okay. All right. So one interesting thing you want to do here, there's all kinds of interesting things we can do to start telling our client interesting stuff. The most, just to check for competition and whatnot, because quite frankly, AdWords competition is analogous to SEO competition. So you don't need to use, I'm going to use a free tool in a second to get a better sense. But quite frankly, you don't need to pay any money for SEMrush. You don't need to pay any money for Ahrefs. It's a waste of money. Don't have it. What I would do is do this for free. Now, I'm actually getting the average monthly searches because I'm running ads right now. If you run ads for $3 for 3 days, do all your research you need to do, and then you get the actual average monthly searches, or you get a range and just modify the range when we put it into Excel. It doesn't matter. So this plus another free thing I'm going to show you afterwards is a really good way of telling what the competition is. But I have a different video on that. That's not the point. The point here, check out my YouTube, youtube.com/jbachins, JBACHYNS, for all the rest of my videos. Now, what I want here, though, is I want to know what is hot from the year-over-year change is what I want to know. Like talent acquisition strategy. There's a lot of people are paying good money for it. It doesn't matter if it's in Canadian, it's just being converted. People are paying good money for that. And talent acquisition strategy is up here. Talent acquisition management is up here. Talent selection, talent hire. So that's a good thing. And that's something we want to see here. And I want to take this and I want to say, hey, look, client, are these the kind of keywords you want to rank for? That's great, because these are hot topics that have a lot of money behind them, that have businesses behind them. So that's a really good thing that you want to move into this business. You want to make them excited about this business. You want to make them excited about, you've already investigated their keywords. You could tell them key business aspects about their keywords, right? So this was a nice, good, quick look to see if it was even worth your time to do it. And it looks like there's some stuff here I can brag to the client about. I can say, hey, look, yeah, if I rank you for talent acquisition consultant, which the SEO competition is going to be low, even though it's a low-hanging fruit keyword, it's only 20 average searches a month, but it's up 100% from last year. This is a hot topic, right? This is moving up in terms of people's mind space, and then also in terms of money that people want to pay to rank for it, right? So what we do is we go to download keyword ideas and we'll bring it into a CSV. All right, great. Now that we have this here, you could bring it into OpenOffice as well if you don't want to pay for Excel. That's fine. It doesn't have to be Excel. So here's the traffic. Here is the 3-month. Here is the how hot it is. And I could just say year over year, just so they get a sense of what that means. Competition here, words I don't care, but the competition number I care about. Comp number, what they're bidding for the bottom of the page is this. What they're bidding for the top of the page is what I care about more. I could average this out and get a little bit more detailed with it, but I would just use the top of the page. Then I get rid of all these searches. And also another really interesting thing it does, it's going to give me the concepts here. And these are the entities they extracted. Remember, an entity is just a concept. So service, hotel chain. I'm just going to get rid of the word concept. And I could also maybe do it this way. So find the word concept, replace with nothing, replace all. Boom. Okay, okay, done. Comments, others. Okay, great. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to take these guys here, this information here. I'll say X. I'll move this over to here. Boom. Okay. Now I want to delete these. This is just addressing the data. Okay. So now bring this down a bit. And I'm going to actually make this smaller is what I'm going to do. I'm going to reduce the size of these because they're not as important. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this guy, my face, put that here. All right, now I'm going to go across here. I'm going to go down, Control Shift, Control T, make a table out of it. Okay. Now what we're going to do, and it's got a lot of different entities built in here, which is interesting. You can also hide it if you don't want it to be here. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some conditional formatting in here. We're going to go here and put a conditional formatting on that. We're going to go here and put a conditional formatting on that. We're going to go here, put a conditional formatting on this. Now we're going to competition. Put a different color conditional formatting on that just so you can see it. The oh yeah, this is the CPC. That's why it's so big. That is the raw money behind the niche of what people are willing to pay to be at the top of the search results. Okay, so and then what we're going to do is going to do some, and you know what, I don't really need this stuff here for now. I'm just going to hide this. I can take a look at that later. What we're going to do is we're going to do the rank value. These are the ones that are the most worth ranking for. And I'm going to say, I'm going to equal and put in brackets. Let's add this plus competition. And we're going to multiply that by this guy. That's going to give us a score. And the ones that are higher in that score are going to be the ones that we want to rank for more because they have more people trying to compete for it. They're paying more money in AdWords for it, and it's hotter for this year. So we're going to do largest here. Now, this is the infinity symbol. I'm not really sure what that means, but we can say, okay, fine, ignore that. Agile talent acquisition is probably a brand, so we don't care about that. I would know if I had this open. I can open this back up now and unhide that. Yeah, it's so it gives us some information as to what we're looking at here. Hopefully you guys can still see that. So this guy here is a non-brand. Interesting. Okay, so if Agile talent acquisition is a brand, Agile is a brand, they're not enough of a brand that Google is going to see them as a brand yet. They haven't hit that magical number, whatever that magical number is, they haven't hit it yet to be considered a brand in Google's entity extraction sense, which is interesting, meaning that you would have some capabilities to beat them. Here also we have, although it doesn't give us how hot it is, or there is no how hot it is, there is, people are bidding $50 and there's 86% competition on Crelate CRM. And it does know the brand is related to Crelate. The other brand is Crelate. So this is interesting from the sense that it's like, okay, there's stuff going on here. And I'm explaining this to you. You would have already looked at this and figured it out and emailed the client if I wasn't kind of explaining kind of what this data shows you. The magical stuff that you can get for free by looking at this data. But let's go down here and see what's actually hot. Here is something that's 3 months end over end hot. It's a non-brand. There's no competition, no one's bidding for it, but it's super hot for these months for some reason. There's 40 searches, and it is accelerate talent, whatever that means. So that's interesting. Let's go down here and finally, so there's a bunch like that. Talent sourcing solutions could be another one to go for later on when you're trying to do rankings, but we want to find the ones that are hot. Here we go. So here are, and they're non-brands, and this one says service management. Okay, fine. So this information here is not going to be useful for this next part. I'm going to say hide this stuff here. There, hide that now. Boom. Okay, I'll make this bigger so people can definitely see it. And it'll go down to, to where we were. Here we go. Here. Okay. So this is what is hot year over year. This is what is 100% hotter, and the last 3 months it's exploded. So this is what I saw on the original page. You didn't have to download this. There could have been more information that I was missing. But look, these keywords here, if you tell the client, look at, if we try to rank you for these keywords here, look how hot these are year over year. These are up quite a bit. People are bidding quite a lot of money to be there. These have quite a rank value for you, right? This formula is this number plus this number times this number. These particular queries here are really hot right now. They're up from last year. Some are doubled. Some are up, 67%, 50%. They're up. Some are even up in the last month, 3 months. This is great low-hanging fruit that if we rank you for, you're going to be on the up climb of hot business opportunities. The competition is relatively low, but the CPC is really high. That means there's a lot of money involved here. If we rank you for this, this is equals the CPC times the traffic. We rank you for these keywords here that are hot. That's worth on average $446 if you look down here, and that's worth $2,231 just for these keywords. Just looking at the base value of what people are willing, I did that right, yeah, the CPC is here, yeah. Just looking at the base value of here's the CPC, top end of it, of what people are willing to bid on AdWords for that. So that's quite impressive. You can say, look at that, there's $2,231 there per month in base value. Now, of course, there's probably double that or triple that or even 10 times that amount of money to rank for those keywords, because this is going to be the base value of what people are willing to pay for an ad for Google. What are they willing to, what is their marketing budget? Well, your average marketing budget is what, 30%? Let's check Google. What is the average marketing budget in percentage? So your marketing budget should be a percentage of your revenue. A common rule of thumb is that B2B business should spend 2 to 5% of their revenue on marketing. For B2C companies, the proportion is higher, 5 to 10%. Okay, so let's say 5%. Fine. Let's say 5%. So this is at minimum, let's say 10% because that'll be easier. If 2,231 is 10% of what you should be making 22 grand a month on these keywords, right? If those numbers bear out that these hot keywords are rising, just these keywords alone should make that sum up to 2,231. The ranking for these keywords should make your client theoretically capturing all that traffic should be $22,000 per month is what it should get them at a standard marketing budget of 10%. This is B2C, so that's probably correct. And even if they only acquire a third of these, fine. So a third of 22,000 is what? 6,000, 7,000 is how much this should be worth your client to rank for this. Just these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 queries in Massachusetts, in the actual area that they are in. If you want to show them how much it'll be, how much money they can make to rank for all of this, I need to go, this is what they can make. So we're going to do the CPC times traffic, and this is going to be the worth monthly, worth to M, and we'll drag this down. All the way down here. Okay, bring that over. There we go. The most lucrative SEO ones for them to rank for then would be sorted by this. So even though it's $480 a month, people are willing to pay $11, so that's higher. Or $40 a month, they're willing to pay $34. Or even IBM Talent Acquisition at 10 searches a month, they're willing to pay $120 at the top. This is on average $14 worth of a times 10% of that. So $140 on average is what the client is worth, apparently. The sum is $18,764. So if I want to sum this out, equals sum of this, 18,764 is what that's worth in total, ranking for all that. At bare minimum, that's the marketing. You would times this. So I'll just do it in my head. 18,000, that'll be $187,000 per month they should be making if they had all the traffic. They'd be making this times 10. 187 grand is how much they would make with all this traffic, considering, as far as Google's concerned, how much they're willing to pay for all that money. And if I divided that by 3, because they're only getting 3% of the traffic, for realistic expectations, what they should make is 62 grand. So there's 187 grand at stake there for them per month if they ranked for these keywords and absorb that traffic at the current market rate of what people are willing to pay for that. Apparently that would be their marketing budget, 18 grand, 18.7K, 187,000 is how much that should make them if the marketing budget is on average 10% roughly, and I'm doing rough numbers here. That's what available. And if they were able to get 30% of that, because you're like, why would you say 30% of that, Josh? Because just because you're ranking number 1 in Google doesn't mean you're going to collect all the traffic. Sadly, the statistic results I've looked at say even if you're ranking number 1, you can get more. You can get more than 30%, but the standard number to assume is 30% is what you're going to acquire at that point. So you can get realistic expectation if we rank you for all of these is $60,000 per month is what you have available there. Now you ask them, is that worth it to you? $60,000? Even if we only got you 10% of that, then that's $6,000 a month. Is that worth it to you? $6,000 a month? Even if we only got you 10% of the 30% that's available for all of the keywords that are related to, roughly the keywords that are related to the queries you want to rank for. You ask the client that. And that's how you justify your salary. You can say, okay, well, even at 10% of the practical amount of 60,000 that's available, which is not including the 187, which is what is totally available there in total, which we can acquire you more of that as well by buying PPC, by getting even more rankings, ranking for more than just these queries. The $6,000 a month, you should have no problem paying $2,000 a month to me or $3,000 a month to me to be able to acquire you even a portion of that. And that's how you know how to price out your SEO, and that's how you know how to bill yourself and justify your value. Or at least that's one way of doing it. And that's one way of you determining, okay, how much money is behind this niche? How much money is behind this niche? And these are real numbers. The CPC of what people are willing to pay, right? This is real numbers in Google. And very rarely do I see a number here that's wrong. Like this might be just one off thing that, IBM is willing to bid $120 just to make sure that they're the top for this, maybe, something like that. But this, other than that, this is kind of a real value that's involved there. And if you want to be conservative with it, don't take the top of the CPC value. Fine. Take the bottom of the CPC value when I started and I downloaded it. Or take an average if you want and say, okay, here's the average of what the CPC is if you want to be a little bit more conservative in that estimate. And then say, okay, look it. This is all the money that is involved here. This times this much traffic is what's involved. That's how much it is worth to you to rank just for this keyword, right? It's $5,000 a month in marketing. That's $54,000 it should be able to make you per month if you've budgeted your marketing properly and you have proper sales. That gets into stuff that's not out of your control as the SEO. Usually, it gets into their ability to sell and their ability to close, and what kind of good product they have, and if they can close those kinds of things and whatnot. So this is another thing I noticed when I was playing around with AdWords. I said, "Oh, this is a really great way, a speculative tool for you to speculate on clients and customers, and also to look at affiliate niches too. You can do the same kind of thing, and just you're the customer, you're the client. You can see how much money, assuming that you can buy AdWords for it. There's some affiliate niches, obviously, you can't buy AdWords for, like the pills and the weight loss supplements and the whatnot and stuff like that. But the guns and things like that. But for 99% of the other markets, you can get AdWords, and this is going to be accurate to the minute of what people are actually paying in your area for the geographical location. So for any local, forgetting any lawyers, forgetting any chiropractors, forgetting any, health facilities, forgetting any doctors in local SEO and locksmiths, this is how you say, hey, look, this is the money that's actually behind this. And that gives them a kind of a wake-up call. They can be like, wow, I can make that much money. Or they might be like, wow, that's all the money there is. They might realize that there's maybe not as much money in that niche as they thought it was. And you are now the indispensable business consultant. And I would give this away for free at the start. I'm gonna email that client back. I'm gonna say, okay, look it. There's this much money. There's this is the marketing. This is the marketing 10% budget for everything here. This is the total. This is the total revenue possible to rank for all that without that traffic. This is per month. I add total revenue possible, and this is the 30% ranking number one that you would be making per month. That's how much this should be getting you, right? $62,000 is what the total is there, which you should be getting per month. And if you want to be conservative and say, let's say I can only get you 10% of that. Even if I can only get you 10% of that, it's then it's, of course, back down to $6,000 a month. Your SEO, then we'll say $3,000 for SEO costs per month, and then that's your budget. See, all right. So SEO $3,000 per month. It still leaves you with $3,200. You still have more of the revenue, and that's if only I can get you 10% of this. There's no reason. I should be able to get more than that. This is 30% of what's totally available. I could make my SEO budget $10,000 a month, and they'd still be making $52,000 at that point. So this is highly conservative. This is highly conservative. that you can only make them $6,000 of value out of the total money and traffic that's available in this niche. And it's beautiful. You can use the Google tool to find out the total money and value of the traffic and the money they're willing to spend that's in this niche for their geographic area. It's insane that we have this access to this data and people don't realize that this exists here, but it does. And I can also then show them what is cool year to year. And look what I can show them what is not. Also notice you could say, I would stay away from these ones. Like I can go largest to smallest, but I can also go smallest to largest and say, look, this is all down. Talent acquisition systems, candidate tracking system. This is way down from last year. If this is the kind of stuff they want to rank for, the answer is probably no. There's no money behind this. This is all down. This is not hot. There's no money behind all this stuff here that you said you wanted to rank for. Yeah, sure. People are bidding on it here, and it's a little bit down from last month. Higher talent sourcing, rich talent group. This is down 50% from last year. This is down a third from last year. There's only 10 or 20 searches anyway. And these bids, the competition is very low for this. So you might want to shy them away from these kind of queries and say, no. Let's stay closer to the year over year ones that are hotter. Let's look at the ones that are worth the most money here. And let's see, okay, this is hot. Let's go for these guys here. These guys are hot. There's money behind these guys and traffic behind these guys. These are the kinds of long tail keywords you want to go for and find the low hanging fruit. I have another video on how to use this more to find the low hanging fruit that has for money keywords. I have another video on that. So check that out. So, at the end of the day, you have to show what your value is. You have to show that you are worth the money you say you're going to be worth. This is how you have actual real hard numbers as to what money is actually behind this niche that this person wants to rank for, which is true in real time, dedicated to their geographic area. With a 10% marketing budget, that means there's almost $200,000 per month in this particular niche that's the money available for you to hack away as an SEO with a pick of SEO tactics. Your pick is hacking gold off and giving it to them. Here you go. Look at all the gold I got you. Here's 187,000 worth of gold. Out of the 187,000 vein that pours through the earth per month, I've got you 62,000. Here you go. Do you think I'm worth maybe 10% of that? Maybe $6,000 a month, for my SEO services? It's a no-brainer. They're gonna go, yeah, sure, here you go. And here's a plane ticket to come down to Massachusetts to visit us. We'd love to meet you. Like, if you are that valuable to your customers, that's the kind of money that they can make and the kind of money you can make and the kind of value that you can give for yourself. And when you're starting out, you can say, even if I only get you 10% of that total value that's available, I think it's still worth $2,000 a month for SEO. They're still making $4,200. Even if you're sucking it, and you're like, oh, I'm really shitting the bed this month. My SEO pick is broken. I'm trying all my tactics, but it's not getting the results I want. Of the $187,000 I could acquire for them per month, I only made them $10,000. Okay, well, you made them $10,000. All right, it's like, oh, you made them 5% of what was possible in total, but still good money, and you're still showing value. And at that point, a 20% payment on that isn't so weird. It would cost them a lot more to have an employee. It would cost them a lot more to have an employee than just $2,000 a month. Employees are not $2,000 a month. You have to pay benefits and everything like that. And you could only hire from a local talent pool as well. I hope you enjoyed that way. You can use marketing data to find the actual dollar signs associated with the total dollar value that's associated with a particular niche, and how you can justify your payments, how you can increase your monthly budget, and how you know where you should pitch. You're like, okay, I guess I should pitch them at $2,000 a month, because what if they're a client that can easily make $1 million a month and you give them a $500 SEO budget? Not only will you not get the project, probably you'll be laughed out of there, right? You got to come in with $10K, like, boom, I'm $10K a month, boom, I'm $20K a month, and I know there's the money there to pay it because look at this, right? Or you're like, I'm going to come in at $10K a month But then you do this this algorithm in the spreadsheet, you realize, oh no, actually I can't do that. There's like only 50K a month in total. Even if I only get them 10% of that, I'm getting them 5K a month. I've got to come in at $500 or $1,000 a month. That's all this person can afford, or really where the value should be at that point. It keeps you honest and it keeps them honest. And honesty and money, that's the way to go. That's the way to go. Clear conscience, fat bank account. That's how living is done, folks. That's how living's done, son. That's how living's done. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask me, and we'll talk to you soon. And good luck in the SERPs, and we'll see you in the group.